welcome to Concord, Massachusetts. We're here at the world famous iRacing Super Speedway for the iRacing AWSCO All-Star Race. We're here at the joint largest oval track on the AWSCO schedule. It's iRacing Super Speedway in Pensacola, both 3 miles in length, as we're here for some high stakes, high speed action. As well, first off, we're going to have the All-Star Open first to set the final entrance for the All-Star race, and then we'll bring you the actual All-Star race itself. This one, I believe, will have 2 drivers from each segment of the race. Yeah, for the All-Star Open, it'll be 2 drivers from each segment of the race, and all right, 2 drivers in 2 segments, so I believe that'll be 4 drivers, and then after that, we'll have our All-Star fan vote winner as well, so it'll be 5 total transfers from the All-Star Open over to the All-Star race, where we'll be having our own segmented system for that race. I'm here once again with Ellie for the pre-race show. Things are looking fun right now. I think we'll have to talk about the qualifying format as well. We had a lot of fun with the qualifying format yesterday. That was really fun to watch. Basically, what the series did here, at this track we're running restrictor plates in the race, but for qualifying, everyone took those off, and I think the series gave them. I believe they were only allowed to start with a certain amount of fuel in the tank, which was, I think, barely enough to get them around 1 lap around the oval. They'd have to come down pit lane, and without any speed restrictions. So they were going down the pit lane, going at least 150 miles an hour, some even faster, to top up on fuel and then complete the last lap of the race. That was a pretty novel qualifying concept. Similar to the way I think NASCAR does it, but instead of a tire stop, it was a fuel top up, and yeah, it certainly made for some interesting action, don't you think?
Yeah, qualifying was very interesting to watch. We saw some drivers come down. I think the max I remember seeing was 170 miles an hour, which was pretty crazy. Going down pit road like that's pretty risky at that speed. But I mean, you had to, and it made for some pretty interesting and fun qualifying. And I think with that, the results we got are also interesting, would you say?
Yeah, I think so as well. If you look at first off, I think we should look at the open qualifying results in front of those 2. At the front of the field, there will be the 92 of Yatsuka, the 21 of Amani Dayo. That was just regular qualifying in the usual way you would expect cars in any other race qualifying. But obviously, at this track, qualifying won't matter too much with the way the pack racing works at this track, especially with the plates. It means the cars are going to be even more bunched up than you would usually see, I think, at races at this track, given that most of the time. Had a bit of an interruption there. Someone's calling for me. Most of the time, you're watching this race. When you're watching this race, you're running without plates. So, yeah, we're gonna see. Given how wide this track is, I think we'll probably expect to see cars going at least 4 wide most of the way. I would think on the straightaways. We'll see how they handle the corners because of that, but yeah, lots of room at this very large and very wide track, I think. And maybe this is a bit of a preview for the race that we'll see at Pensacola, to be the regular season finale. So I think for these open drivers, it probably do you a world of good to perform well here, just as a bit of a barometer for how they're going to perform at the regular season finale, I think.
Yeah, I would take this race as a learning experience, to say, for the next race similar to this one. I mean, with how you said this race is going to be very wide track, right? So I think 4 wide is a very realistic, prediction. But if I remember correctly, we even saw 5 wide at some times, and I think that could be very challenging. So I would definitely take it as a learning experience and to prepare yourself for the future down the line. With that said, 4 or 5 wide could also be very dangerous. So we're going to have to see how well some of these drivers handle conditions like that, I think.
Yeah, and of course as race wins or the qualifying criteria for the All-Star race proper, our top 2 in the points right now, the 64 and 23, are in this open race right now. They're going to be fighting for one of these spots, of course. So looking at them, and I guess the 72 of Janet Parkings as well. Those 3 teams have been very good this season. Right now, you see Nihale in the 64. She's starting in 9th place. The 72 of Janet Parkings 14th, and then the 23 Malixon starts 23rd. So a bit further back down the field, near the back there, on the second to last row. Those are the cars that have been the best all season as a whole. We'll see how they do in this race, given that there isn't as much competition. We'll see if they can make things work, but it being a plate race, things are going to be kind of decided almost by a roll of the dice as well. You have to be strategic in your timing here.
Yeah, you do have to be strategic in your timing here, and Yappy Malixon starting row 12, I don't think that's necessarily a game changer for her. I've been pretty impressed with her driving so far, and I think as we've had a discussion last time we were in the Cup Series, some of these drivers starting mid to the back end of the field, it doesn't really matter for some of them because they climb through the mid and back field, and they just end up getting close to like a top 10, or even some of them were in a top 5 finish.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the only thing that running up front at plate tracks would really do is kind of gives you a better chance of surviving any crashes that happen as a result. But at the same time, crashes can kind of start really anywhere, and I feel like at most, especially on these plate tracks, basically anybody can be the cause of a wreck here, and I think if cars start pushing 4 or 5 wide, then you might start seeing things like that happen here.
Yeah, cars pushing for 4 or 5 wide on this track, it's very risky, but I don't doubt it'll happen. The issue there is, it doesn't really matter what part of the field you're on. If the front ends up having a crash and holds everybody up, then the midfield and backfield is probably going to suffer from that too.
Yeah, with no points on the line here, I think driver is going to be able to experiment a little bit, just kind of seeing what moves they can make and what they can get away with, basically, and what might not work, especially here when it's basically a bit of an all or nothing race for both the Open and the All-Star race proper. So I think you might see some drivers make very aggressive moves just because they know that not much. There aren't many consequences to wrecking out here, especially if you're kind of at the back or like in the midfield trying to desperately move up the pack. So I think we'll see some of that just kind of happen as a result.
Yeah, I agree with your point. I think we're probably going to see aggression, especially since winning matters here and matters a lot. So I think we're going to probably see some extra aggression here, especially from some of our more aggressive drivers that are usually known to be more aggressive. But back to my point about how winning matters here, I say that because we're going to have 2 10-lap segments, so I mean points don't really matter here, and the top 2 from each segment are going to advance to the All-Star, so points don't really matter here. So I think that, like you said, we're going to see more aggression because of that, and I think we might have a dangerous race here, so I'm going to be very interested to see how drivers handle this.
Yeah, I think so. And with that, I wonder if there's any final points we want to make here before we head over to the first of our races tonight. Today it'll be the All-Star Open. Let me double check the format for everything here. getting word here. It'll be 10 laps each, I believe. We get 10 lap segments each, and then I'm not sure if there's a yellow flag in between. There, I believe there is. Yeah, there is a yellow flag in between. So basically, the top two from the first, basically it's kind of two small races. You'll have the first 10 laps and a yellow flag in the middle, and then the next, and then 10 more laps to settle the 4 cars that will be transferring from the Open to the race, to the All-Star race. And with that, Ellie, any final words before we throw things over to the booth?
I think that's really it. We discussed pretty much everything we could discuss about this race, other than it's going to be very interesting, which I think we also discussed that. So I think I'll be closing my pre-show statements with this.
Yeah, sit back and enjoy. This one's just, this one's a bit of a fun event. Everyone's just going to be running for pride here, and I'm willing to bet they're going to be putting everything on the line regardless. So it'll be Echo and Eddie, I believe, in the booth today. We'll take things over to them, and for the start of the iRacing All-Star Open.
And welcome here to the beautiful Eastern Massachusetts. We're here in Concord, Massachusetts for the iRacing Open to kick off All-Star facilities. I'm joined by, or festivities, I should say. I'm joined by Eddie Debs in the booth here. Eddie, what do you expect from this one, and how do you feel about this race coming to such a well-known track?
I expect this one to be the goofy one. Given what I know about iRacing Super Speedway, given what I know about these drivers, given I know this isn't a points-paying race, instead I believe there's a cash prize at some point involved, and and as Ellie mentioned, racing for pride, I think we're in for a bunch of drivers doing whatever they feel like doing on the track, probably not entirely listening to crew chiefs and just going on instinct, and I expect a chaos. I expect a magnet of chaos just throughout this whole thing. Yeah, I kind of hope it's insane. I feel like this is the right type of race for things to be a little bit insane, but I'm holding out that it's going to be entertaining no matter what part of iRacing we get. So, yeah, that's about all I can say on the iRacing track and on how these off-road drivers are going to race it.
Yeah, and this is going to be a very interesting event tonight here. We start with the Open. It's 20 laps with 2 10-lap segments split right down the middle. Top 2 from each segment will advance to the main event, and the final transfer spot will be through the fan vote, which was done over the past couple weeks. Let's go through the starting grid. Row 1 here, it's the 92 Michele Yatica qualified on the pole, alongside the 21 of Amani Wandayo. Row 2, it's the 16 Sky and Jetta. Missed a race earlier this season, but she's run pretty well, alongside the 42 of Mika Gennaro. Row 3, second place finisher at the Daytona 500, Lowry Schliesenbach, alongside the 17 Dara Reeser, who's still yet to score top 10 in this season. Row 4, the 10 of Audie Stoneman, and the 9 of Carly Byrne. Row 5, the 64, Jocelyn Nihale comes in as the points leader. She still has to race her way in, though, alongside the 46 Yen Fioniga. Row 6, the 91 of Alicia Byrne and the 82 of Pace Linieria. Row 7 is the 2 of Isa Ijavida and the 72 of Janet Parkings. Row 8 is the 60 of Amory Wesco and the 1 of Alicia Vancy. Row 9 is the 52 Rachel Cole and the 27 of Nietzsche Garnston. Row 10, the 34 Mika Harina and the 15 of Tabrizi Tolron. Row 11, the 20 of De Gabriella and the 3 of Mimi Verino. Row 12, the 23 of Yaki Malikson and the 26 of Sophie Chantase. And in the final row, row 13, is the 38 of Young Wei Koo. So you think that maybe there could be a few more lessons taken here this weekend for some future plate races, like we're going to see the regular season finale at Pensacola in a couple months? You think there's any lessons to be taken away here from this? You got me there? Alright, well, we're having technical difficulties, so we're gonna talk about how this race may affect the playoff race. I mean, obviously no points here, but Pensacola being the regular season finale, that track's going to be very important, and this track very similar to Pensacola. They're both 3 miles in length, both pill-shaped, although Pensacola's got much wider turns. For some of these drivers that have been good at the plate tracks during the season, it'll be very interesting to see where they get in here. Eddie, is your mic fixed yet?
Drivers, start your engines!
Okay, we'll take that as a no. Alrighty. Well, the engines have been fired, so we're just about to get going for the Open here in the All-Star festivities. Michele Iotica and a money one Dio. The front row as they'll lead them to start-finish line for the first 10-lap segment here of the Open. Pace car pulls off. And the green flag is out here from iRacing Superspeedway.
The mic working? Oh, thank goodness.
Yes, it is. It is.
These stupid technicians. I'm fighting the AWSCO technicians when we're gonna be done with this. My anger issues cannot be contained. I finally come back to the booth, and this is how I'm treated. Okay, but 92 with an amazing start off the jump. 16 is gonna get to follow. 10 all the way to the bottom.
We're gonna go real wide all over the place here. This track is so wide, you can go pretty much anywhere here. Sky and Jetta dives down to the inside. Remember, it's the top 2 that will advance to the All-Star race in each segment, not just the winner of each segment. 42 just scraped the wall there in the back. Make a Gennaro. They'll come to the line.
Look out.
And Jetta will lead that first lap.
I can't tell if it was a Weddy Stoneman or Rachel Cole, but Isha Javida got flung out of the bottom lane coming off the corner, so that seemed like a push. But the bottom line seems to be where
there they go!
And we have a big one. Oh, goodness gracious.
Ku, Yanaga, Reister, Garnston, Barino, Paceland, Yeria. Caution's out.
We got to race back, though. This is going to be devastating.
Barino's stuck on the banking.
One team
Stuck
that needed
on the banking
money.
transition. So we race back to the line. Stoneman will lead them back to it. Caution's out early here in the Open.
AWSCO and Stoneman in the transfer spots right now. Arena. Good spot to take it from him. 23's up here.
Yeah, Yappy Malikson, remember, she started way in the back. She's already made her way up to 4th. That's how quickly things can change here at these tracks. These cars still racing back. Laurie Schliesenbach with quite a bit of damage. Maybe Marino.
Richter.
What are we doing?
Oh, are they being silly on the backstretch again? Settle down. Okay.
They have the option to pit if they would like to.
It would be an interesting strategy to pull off, given you'd start at the back, but you can move quickly through the front, especially with better tires. Just don't know whether that'd be a good idea or not, really.
Nobody's coming in here. Well, it
No.
looks like a few
The
cars here
people
in
in
the
the
back
back.
are coming in, but might as well. Probably got damaged.
Oh.
8 car managed to make it out. She actually got out of the pit road before getting lapped, so she will stay on the lead lap.
That's a smart move out of her. Well, these people probably. I don't think any of these guys will be trapped a lap down unless they absolutely end up getting.
Well, let's
But
take a
this
look
is definitely
at
a bottom lane.
Let's see what happens. Bottom lane's a bit squirrely here. They were about 6 wide here. Yeah, and the 82 just gets into the 82 just stuck her nose where it didn't belong.
I'd have to say Yenfi Yanaga was definitely someone who could have. There seemed like there was sort of a weird 5 wide diagonal where not enough space could be given, and after that, one car drifts just a little bit farther down the track. The rest of the cars have to, try and stay in their space, and eventually there's just not enough space to fit that many cars, and I think that's what got the 82 into the 3 and started the big one.
Well, a couple cars out of the race. Reister and Gennaro have already retired, so for Dira Reister, she's not even going to get a top 10 in the non-points qualifier race. So it's just been one of those seasons for her.
Well, see, Happelman hasn't been that much better.
Well, Happelman has a win.
Happelman has a win, but there's only about an 80-point gap between the two of them in terms of otherwise. So it's hard to say it's all Richter's fault, but
I mean, they just haven't had very good luck, and also, Reister's also been out. She sat out a couple races earlier in the season with injury. It's been tough for her. For Mika Gennaro, it's been tough for her as well. Sitting 38th in the points coming out of this one. Caution's very long here, so we shorten them by a lap. We'll go back green with 5 laps to go in segment 1. Audie Stoneman, Emery Wesco, Mika Harina, Yappy Malikson, and Rachel Cole are the top 5. Going to be a few cars with damage trying to continue on in this one. There's the 3 of Mimi Barrino. She's getting back out. The good news for Barrino, because she's still rolling, she really just got stuck on the banking. She didn't really take that much damage from that incident. She will probably be able to get back on the lead lap at the segment ending caution.
And I have to imagine they got tires on that car, so she might be primed.
They did not put tires on it, but tires don't really matter here, to be fair.
No, they don't. Would have been a nice advantage, but I can understand the idea of not having it. Admittedly, but
Well, it's been
maybe she'll fight for a second. She'll fight for a second one, and then segments get main race gets you money, so still have a shot. But especially for that team that has had quite the season in terms of financials, definitely just the worst luck in terms of compared to the rest of the teams in terms of financials, but I got a shot. That's all that matters here.
Pace car will pull off. We'll have 5 laps to go in segment number 1. Stoneman leads it. Green flag. You can barely notice when the green flag comes out because with the plates on, that the jump is so slow.
Harina wasted no time to get to the bottom. Malcolm's gonna join her. That's an interesting choice. Remember what I said about trusting instinct there, kind of not listening to the voices coming from the crew chief and spotter? That seemed like I'm just gonna block because I feel like I can block, and almost took herself out over the nose of Carly Byrne in the process.
Harina and Stoneman up front. Okay, here comes the 34 looking for the lead.
Yep. Atlantic Racing. Atlantic versus Red. This might get interesting in a lap when it's the 34 and the 23 barreling down the backstretch. Assuming the 23 gets to the side of the 34, which might not happen as the really low run there by the Verizon car.
That's Sky and Jetta.
I don't know what she was attempting, but she might have gone squirrely on that bottom. That bottom just might not be...
Some of these cars towards the back. The 3 cars come down pit road again.
Oh, 15. What are you doing?
I believe the 3 might have received a penalty, but I'm not sure.
Seems like a longer pit stop. That might be more damage repair.
Oh, she's stuck.
Oh.
Yeah, that's something weird about this pit road, is that sometimes they just get stuck like that, and I don't know why.
Breezy Toblerone out of the top. I said Toblerone. The jokes have finally made it into it.
And Jetta was down there almost looking at taking it 5 wide. 3 laps to go in segment 1.
Early Burned and Toblerone were near dead even there. As WESCO is getting squirrely too. WESCO's trying to get around Toblerone, but doesn't know whether to go high side or low side. She's not getting any help either way, regardless.
Well, for Tabrizi Toblerone, it's been a rough season for her too.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting all over the place down the back straightaway.
Kind of
wide
wanting
again.
WESCO to be oh, guys. Jeez. Alicia Byrne now making her presence felt in top 5.
Alicia and Carly Byrne are both up here. 2 to go in this in segment 1. Toblerone and Harina right there. Toblerone, I believe, had it at the line. Yes, she did.
Alicia's trying to get all 4 Mason Parker Motorsports cars into the All-Star race. She's the only one without a win on her team. Gabriella moving into the... Oh, Lori. Uh-oh.
Lowry Schliesenbach.
That turn 4, or is that... that is turn 4. Okay.
That's turn 4, so...
Maybe in danger of getting lapped as Gabriella.
Dives down to the inside, looking for the lead on Toblerone.
Boy.
Gonna be 1 lap to go in the segment. I almost said stage, but it is segments. We don't do stages here.
Wendy Stoneman looked to the left quarter panel of Alex in there for a second.
Yappy goes high.
Not to do whatever she's playing. Yep. That's gonna let Stoneman have a shot.
They're
It's gonna
4
allow
wide.
A lot of people to have a shot. You boy, here we go. Okay.
They'll merge back in.
Simmer down, Rachel Cole.
Schliesenbach's really slow. She's only going about 150. But she will at least make it to the end of this. She will at least make it to the end of the segment.
WESCO.
Here comes WESCO with Stoneman.
WESCO's last out of all the golf racing cars in the standings right now. Well, there's only 2 golf racing
There's
cars.
only 2 of them, so.
Still, who is, I think who
They're
got
gonna be
caught up
5
is
wide.
No. Carly
Here comes
Stone
Carly
has got the block
Byrne.
for their life. Block for your lives.
They're trying to
That's
make
all they
everything
run.
happen, but it's all behind the transfer spots. They'll race back. It's gonna be Carly Byrne and Audie Stoneman who are gonna be the two that race in segment 1.
Alright, an adult wreck on the backstretch. Please. Keep it together.
So the 9 and the 10 will be parked because they are in. Those two will
That gets
transfer.
That gets all 4 Evans Roth racing cars into the dance. Red Racing is at least one more member. They only have 2 of them in.
They have 2 in now, yeah, because
Malik-
Davison was the only one.
Malakton.
Davison was the only one that
Had a win so far for that team.
that has a win, yeah.
Malixton and Wandaya will try to add to that total.
Yeah. And Wandayo's pretty well off the pace.
Yep. Nothing much else to say, really.
Yeah, and we've got a bit of a break here. So there's Lowry Schlissenbach still trying to catch up. There's those two coming down pit road as they will park it and save their cars. Those two will save their cars for the main event. Remember, there's no eliminations in the main event, unlike in some prior editions of the All-Star Race and some other series that I've done, so they'll make it to the they'll pull down pit road, just save the car for the All-Star Race, and see where it goes from there. Well, with this little break that we've got, I think we might give the studio a little time to have our sort of mid-race report in the open, even though it's going to be very short because we'll be going back green in a couple laps. Why don't we have Russia and Ellie talk about what they saw in the first segment?
Okay, yeah, 6 wide is certainly pushing it, I think, at this track. We talked about 5 wide, but somehow we missed the idea of going 6 wide at this track, and that's certainly causing some problems.
Yeah, I would say so. I didn't expect 6 wide either, and it's definitely caused some problems. But I've noticed a lot of these drivers, they're like really antsy, I would say. Like some of them look a little all over the place. Some of them look wavy. Maybe it's the nerves. Maybe the stakes of this race is getting them anxious. But I have noticed some of them have looked a little, I guess, antsy.
Yeah, these guys are struggling to hold the line, it seems. I mean, especially in the corners, they seem to be waving back and forth throughout the lanes, and that's the thing that's been causing the most problems, I think, is that, yeah, you could go 4 or 5 wide in the corners pretty easily, but in order to do that, you'll need to be able to hold the line steady, and that's not what they've been doing. They've been moving about a little bit, kind of using any extra room they have. That's exactly what we saw with the first incident. The 82 wasn't able to keep the cars, holding a lane in the turns and ran into the 3 and kind of took everyone else with her. But that seems to be, something you got to look at. This is something that's fairly new to, this kind of track layout is something that's fairly new to these teams. So maybe that's something they're looking at right now. Just a bit of early teething problems for some of these teams, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if they're not accustomed to a track like this, it would make sense that they're antsy and that they're doing things that, well, I guess you would say you should not do. Like, like what the 82 car did, it just wasn't the best idea. It just didn't pan out, and it caused a really huge wreck. But I will say it's been fun to watch so far, and I'm excited to see what else happens here.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting ready pretty soon here. I think we'll have one more lap after this of caution, and then we'll get back to the racing. But yeah, so the 9 and 10 are our first transfers to the main event. Right now, we're looking at the 34 of Mika Haurina, the 91 of Alicia Berry, 52 of Rachel Cole, the 15 of Teresa Tolaron, and the 60 of Emery Wesco. That's your top 5. See, cars like the 16 and 23 are also in the top 10. Those cars have been pretty strong running. 64 is sitting in 10th place right now. And I think after that, there's only a few more cars that are still on pace behind them. So, yeah, I think pretty much anyone can still make it here. It seems it's very competitive, and there's not that many cars. So, there's going to be a lot of position shuffling going on, and it doesn't really matter too much if you get shuffled out to the back early on, as long as you can find the right lane and draft with the right find the right drafting partners. It looks like you can just move up and down at will right now, which seems to be a bit except for the smaller field here. We'll see how this translates. It'll be interesting to see how this translates over to a full-sized field later on at Pensacola. But right now, things are changing very quickly at this track.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of drivers try to be like playmakers around like lap 8, 9, 10 about. Well, obviously, I mean, 10 was the final lap, but a lot of them were trying to push, and that's when we kind of saw them go like very wide as well. And I think the 16, 23, and the 64 cars are cars we're going to probably have to watch out for, because I saw them trying to make plays a lot.
Yeah. I think they'll be making moves again, and now with a little bit of experience under their belts, we'll see how these racers stack up in the last 10 laps of the All-Star Open, and with the cars heading up to turns 3 and 4, we'll be throwing it back to the booth now where Echo and Eddie will call the last 10 laps of the race.
Now, 1 10-lap segment to go. Top 2 advance out of this last segment as well, and then we will have the fan vote winner for you announced during the break in between the Open and the All-Star main event. So pace cars off. It's Harina who will lead them to the green here to begin segment 2. The final segment here. Green flag. We're back to racing.
Interesting to what cars sort of make the jump out to start the race. You see a couple cars in the back. Lori Fleechenbach is not moving.
The 8 is well off the pace.
But the 52 and the 60 and the 91 all immediately making moves. Pretty much right off. I believe it's the 52 and the 60 more like it. That were just right off rip. Jumping to the inside or the outside, trying to find some kind of way to get around people. Because I think people are starting to understand you want to be in a position where you're blocking for the spots rather than racing for them, because you can, I think, block a little bit better on this track than you can, being 3 or 4 wide with someone, and then you're limited in what space you can use on the track as we see the 60 move up. So might be how people are trying to factor in, might be how if we see another restart, might be how things go. But yeah, as we can see right now, it's the people who didn't have damage and the people who have damage. It's the haves versus the have-nots, and you can see the have-nots really pulling away just in the first lap.
Yeah, well, we're seeing on this these first couple laps after the restart, that draft is really important. You got to stay in the draft, and there's a couple cars that are kind of starting to lag back at the draft. They're starting to lose touch, especially this 8 car. I mean, the 8 car's, well, she's trying her best.
That's all she's gonna do. That's kind of, I mean, as much as I don't want to say this, that is sort of just an Uberman Enterprises type of thing. You know, them with their existence both here and in the Continental Series. It's like it kind of seems like something for them happens every race or so. I think at this point, this is just the Lois Schliesenbach. Because Passon Yuri has also been nowhere near the front. I think she got caught up in the accident as well.
Well, she caused the accident.
Ah, yeah, she did. Short memories sometimes. But Yappy Malekson immediately pushing it 3 wide.
She's taking the lead.
And leaving everyone in the dust. Suddenly, that's a car-length lead coming out of turn 2.
I don't know if you
Again,
want that big of a lead, though.
No, because now she's gonna have to.
They're going
find
5
a way to
wide
block
again.
her life. And yeah. Oh, they're.
Okay, they've narrowed it back to 4. But
It's gonna
that
be
is
3 unless
squirrely.
Sky and Jetta makes a really stupid decision right there.
Harina's gonna be the one to do it. As she backed out, though.
Not really. Yeah.
Malekson out front by quite a bit.
Rachel Cole is holding the 2nd spot, but she's got to block Toblerone right now. And
He
she
called her
did.
Toblerone again.
Yep. I'm keeping that meme going. As long as she's around, I guess.
I mean,
Yep, you can see Harina's being aggressive again. She's just hugging that bottom. And
I think you're Teresi Toblerone. You've heard that so many times, countless amount of times.
oh no, yeah, I'm not allowed in the 15 car garage for a reason.
I don't think you're just. I don't think you're allowed in the garage in general after what you've done.
It wasn't that bad.
I don't know. Well, back here, there's Gabriella
Kind of
trying to make a move there.
Trying to nudge Westco out of the way.
Battling with Byrne. Harina's going for the
Oh,
race
yep.
lead.
Gabriella's going all the way to the apron. 3 wide. This is alright. Is Rachel Cole gonna force it 4?
Yes.
Okay. I think Wesco might get just enough. No, 23 is gonna be forced out. But we do have 3 wide.
23 is going to drop in the outside lane. There's so much room at this track. You can make you can make really any move you want to make.
That's the North Star teammate. Well, I was about to say something about the North Star teammates, and then Java just said, "I'm not helping you the rest of the way."
Well, she might be forced to.
But
she's not got
Yep.
any help.
and she didn't let Toblerone. Yep. Now it's gonna be Toblerone pushing Cole probably to 2nd. What people need to understand is they just need to block the inside at this point. Because if you can block that inside lane from making any sort of run on you, because Cole's not going to be much of a threat down this backstretch, but you just gotta duck down and hope for it. Wesco goes for a big move to the middle. GC, yep. Lori's gonna get Lori's.
8
I was
car's
gonna
gonna
say Lori's
be
gonna get
parked.
caught, but yeah.
8 car is gonna be is not meeting minimum speed, so that 8 car is gonna be told to step off the track.
Just saw it across our desk. Gabriella's not going to be able to go for the race lead. Toblerone's going to make 3 wide for the race lead. Certainly a choice. Wesco's going to help. Watch people going low.
She's going
Wesco's
low.
going to the apron.
They're going to be 4 wide
4
for
wide.
2nd.
Okay, there's...
And Wesco's going to use that momentum. She's going to go for the lead. Here
And
comes
that's gonna be
Javida in the 2 car. 8 car pitting in front of them. She will be out of the way.
She's bringing everyone with her. A lot of people stayed with that bottom line coming off of turn 4.
4 wide again. Here comes Jetta in the 16 car.
It does. Nope, it's going to be 3 wide. Rena pushed all the way up the track. She's going to have to reset and try and run it back.
4 laps to go.
Out. Wesco and Byrne. Alicia Byrne at that. What a interesting top 2 we have that's holds, but you can't imagine anything will hold going into turn 3 because
Things change so quickly here.
Yep. Nihil's finally making a move. She's been just kind of there in the back for a while. Nope, she's gonna get put to the inside by Gabriella.
That 64, I think, has damage. So I think that's why she hasn't really been making moves. Here comes Alicia Byrne now to the inside of Wesco. Alicia
Gallagher's
wants to
gonna
make
follow.
it all 4 Mason Parker cars in the main event. Here comes
She let
Javida.
to the inside, and Jetta's gonna follow. This is gonna be another shuffle out. Javida's might pull. This might be both North. There's a minute chance that both North Star cars end up qualifying out of this segment, but it's not impossible. And they're, I think, 1-2 right now as well. They were 1-2 until Cole decided to leave their drafting help for whatever reason.
Here comes Yappy. That 23's coming up here.
Red Racing contingent.
Oh, car on the wall. That sounded like the 91. Oh, it was the 15. It was Toleron.
Alright, well, oh boy. Alright. 2 laps.
2 laps to go. Yappy Malikson now the leader. Here comes the 20. Here comes the 64. She hasn't been anywhere close to this position all race, and now she's up here.
Gonna be side by side with her. No, Harina's gonna pull out in front of her. Did Nihil leave that open so Harina could get in front? These two might work together and take the last 2 spots. At least guaranteed spots. Oh, or Nihil's gonna go to the apron and just. That's not a terrible move out of turn 2, because if you hug that, someone's gonna show up to put you forward.
Oh, they're all going
Except
all
for
over the place.
Yeah, except she goes all over the place, and that allows Jetta. It's gonna be 4 wide in the back there. It's gonna be 3 wide up here. You boy, 23.
23 is blocking like crazy.
Well, it's blocking for her spot.
It's blocking to stay in.
Here we go.
White flag. 1 lap to go here in the final segment, and trying to get into the main event. Yappy Malikson out front. Gabriella was second at the line.
She's going to have to fend off everyone. She can't fend off Harina. Harina's going to take second. Vernon and Jetta are in the best spot to try and take that from her. Javida is being sneaky over there. Javida might force a 4 wide down the backstretch.
She will. She's got the 64 pushing. Here comes the 34 looking to the inside of the 23.
Gabriella's going to follow. 23 might not have shut the door enough. Oh, she's going to hold the high side. I don't know about that decision.
She's not going to be able to hold. She's not going to be able to go anywhere else. Here comes the 20 of Gabriella, though. They're going to be side by side for 1 and 2 coming to the line. They're both going to make it, so it doesn't really matter. Mika Harina is going to be the one who wins the Open. I paused way too early, but that doesn't really matter. Harina and Gabriella will be the other two transfers into the main event. So put the 34 and the 20 into the main event, and very interesting event the Open has been. It took us just about 40 minutes to get completed, and it was a very fun one. I thought that was quite fun.
Yep, I kind of wish we really didn't have the early crash, because we could have had a lot more cars really running for it. But I think that was just the issue with that many cars in that much space. It was only a matter of time before someone put their nose into a place it wasn't supposed to be, and we got a lot of cars and a lot of teams that definitely deserved a chance at, at making it to the Open, getting some money, maybe even winning the All-Star race in the end. But it be how it be.
Yeah.
Crazy that Jocelyn Nihil will I imagine, miss it. I don't know if he has the All-Star fan vote numbers to get in, but that's not
Yeah, I wouldn't know. They don't give these things to me if that wasn't obvious.
Well, we're going to take you back to the studio for about 15 minutes, where they'll cover, where they will be covering a bit of the preview here, leading up into the All-Star race. Rasha and Ellie, you two down there, what'd you see from the Open, and what are you expecting from the main event?
Well, that second half of the Open was definitely a little bit more clean. Things were, I think it was definitely more clean, and I think they were getting a little bit more comfortable out there racing. We saw them making moves with a little bit more confidence in the second 10-lap segment, and I think that kind of showed with the type of moves they were making. They were learning to kind of hold back a little bit, not force the issue as much as possible. Maybe just out of a sense of self-preservation there. I'm surprised they didn't try making any more funny moves at the end though. But otherwise, a much cleaner second segment from these cars.
Yeah, it was a lot more cleaner and a lot less anxious, it seemed. And those 16 and 23 cars, they were making a lot of moves that I predicted they were going to make, and it started getting to be a very competitive field between everybody, and it was very interesting to see the 20 try and shove her way in. Rachel Cole was trying to push, everybody was trying to push, and it just seemed a lot more confident, a lot more clean, less all over the place. I was really satisfied with that. It was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I was quite excited to see that. We'll see how things shake up for the All-Star race. I don't think there's going to be as many cars in that one. Only 10 rows, so it'll have 20. So it'll be 20 cars. It'll be around 20 cars that show up and race the All-Star Open. So a few less cars than we had to start the Open proper. I guess it's I guess it'll be time to. I guess now it's a good time to go over the All-Star race format itself. So this race will be, I believe it'll be 50 laps. It'll be 50 laps. So we'll have 4 segments, I believe. So you'll get the first 3 segments will be 15 laps each. Each of those segments, I think the winner of each segment will get their own prize, and then there'll be a 5-lap race for all the bones. Basically, that'll be the last run. It'll be easily the most hectic part of the race. We've seen some of the formats that AWSCO has run All-Star Racing wise, and I would expect the final segment in this All-Star race will be just as fun as the final segments we've seen in other All-Star races that AWSCO's run. So that'll be something to look forward to. Another a significant change from those past events that some viewers might be familiar with, though, is that we don't have any eliminations here. Everyone will be racing the entire 50-lap race. So everyone will be racing for the whole thing. Assuming they don't have to retire for any reason, basically. So anyone can win this. Any of the segments or the big final segment itself, and we'll see if things are any different racing wise. What are your expectations for these guys as they race in the longer 50-lap All-Star race?
I think it'll be very interesting, especially with the 15-lap segments. I mean, with those segments, there's I guess you could say there's more leeway with what you can do in terms of moves you want to make. But I also feel like since there's cash involved, I mean, we might see some more aggression. We might see some more just trying to make any move possible because you want to win badly for that cash prize. That 5-lap sprint to the finish will also be very interesting, I think, too.
Yeah, that last 5-lap segment's going to be all sorts of messy, I think. I think they're going to be, the drivers are going to be at their max aggression because, well, there's nothing to lose in that last segment. Everyone's just kind of racing for the fun of it by that point. And for the big prize at the end, of course, but I think if you're one of these drivers, I think it'll be the bragging rights are almost just as important as the cash prize. I think.
Yeah, I feel bragging rights are going to be huge with this one. But I mean, everyone driving through the field like this, I feel like it's going to be very hectic. And with how that second segment ran, I feel like this the All-Star race is going to be very exciting to watch.
We're getting our word here, and the fan vote. The fan vote results have been released. Our fan vote transfer will be the number 16 of Sky and Jetta, so that'll be our final entrance into the iRacing All-Star race. I'll bring up all 20 cars, and with that I have our full starting lineup here. Going through the qualifying results for the All-Star race now. We mentioned the format that they were running, of course. I'll reiterate it again, I guess. So that everyone for All-Star qualifying, everyone's restrictor plates were taken off. Then they were sent out to run. I think they were sent out to run. I believe basically one racing lap. Yeah, they filled it up with just enough fuel to run one lap, basically. Came in to top up on fuel and then top up on fuel and then ran another lap. So it was a quick 3-lap event. Everyone's times were judged on their average speed through the entire 3-lap segment, and in the end of that, it was the 98 of AWSCO up on pole for the All-Star race, and it'll be Celia Rarison in the 32 starting beside her on the outside of row 1. Bit of an unconventional qualifying format, as we already mentioned, but it's the All-Star race. You can just kind of do anything here and you'll get away with it. Looking at the rest of the field, Alacantes and Abby Little. Oh, I should actually mention the races they won at, of course. Yarsharaj was the winner at Willow Springs and Mosport, I believe. Rarison won 2 races, which I believe one of them was Bristol and the other one. Double check this one. I should have pulled this out earlier. Should have pulled my notes earlier for this. Yeah, it was Bristol and South Boston. So 2 two-time winners up on the front. Parallel contest winner at Denver starts 3rd. Abby Little winner at Michigan starts in 4th. Delaware, the only driver with 3 wins this season, I think. It's on row 3 with Angeli Rugatino. Dark horse sweep of that row. Then you have Arinia Tosama, which is our most recent winner, taking her 2nd win in our previous race, who starts alongside Gianni McJasmine, a winner from Montreal. Haberman, winner at Texas. Handstrom, winner at Bathurst, rounds out the top 10. And that's Lee Culberson in the 39. 39, who won at Pocono, starting 11th, and starting 11th. I'm getting my numbers wrong here. And Hollis Yukovic, our Daytona 500 winner, will start in 12th. In our final 3, row 7, Brescia Vebels, which is a winner at Las Vegas, will start alongside our Kentucky winner, Yania Waterton, and Andrea Davison, who won at Charlotte. Yeah, or our Dr. Pepper 600 winner was the last car to make it on. Was our last place qualifier. And then I believe the open transfers will work based on row segment 1 winner. I think it'll be segment 1 winners 1 and 2, and then segment 2 winners. Oh, is it segment winners first? Then
It's based on qualifying from the open.
all right. It's getting word. The open transfer will be based on the open qualifying time. So we'll have to pull that out. So it'll be Stoneman, Byrne, Haurina, and Abriella, I believe, in that order specifically, and then the 16 of Sky and Jetta will round out the field. Every one of these drivers has had their own journey to the All-Star race so far. It's been a, now that we're halfway through the season, the first season of the AWSCO Cup Series, things have kind of gotten a grip, I think, of kind of recognizing the these drivers' stories throughout the season, and now that you have some time to kind of analyze that and kind of reflect on it, who do you think's really been the out of the drivers we're seeing here, anyways? Because there's this All-Star race is notably missing the top two in points, obviously. But out of the racers who are running the All-Star race, who have you been most interested in following? I think.
Well, we have a lot of really interesting drivers here, a lot of impressive ones. We have some underdogs, we have some who have been really good all season, like Bri Delade, who's had 3 wins, which she's one of them. That's really 3 wins is really impressive. I really like Lily Tolberson and I really like Abby Little. Ava is an obvious one too. I mean, she's been really impressive, especially the last 5, 6, 7 races or so. She's been pretty impressive, and I'm very satisfied with how she races so far. I'm really, I think this half not this half. The All-Star race is going to be very interesting with this lineup. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely interesting to see the 98 on pole, given Aguirre Charge has been at her best on the road courses. It's kind of been expected of her. I think of all the drivers that were tipped to be road course experts in this series, Aguirre Charge has been the one that has delivered the most, I would say. So starting up front is definitely a bit of a surprise at this kind of track, but also given the plates at this track, it's definitely it definitely works as a equipment equalizer for these teams. So, driver performance is definitely going to be was definitely a major factor, and especially confidence in kind of managing the brakes down pit lane, and that's something that Aguirre Charge has been. And I guess some of that road course experience translated a little bit, managing to brake with confidence. Something experienced drivers of road courses are typically quite good at it. And given how important the pit lane, minimizing time in pit lane was for qualifying, I guess it was not too big of a surprise that the 98 took it on pole. On the outside of her, Cynthia Raristoun as another driver. Well, I mentioned experience of road courses. Cynthia Raristoun has been excellent on the short tracks this year. Another kind of braking heavy, discipline, I guess, in terms of track type. So maybe it's not all that surprising that 2 of the best drivers on the racetracks that have required the most braking have did the best in qualifying, where kind of being presented by a novel kind of a novel situation, basically.
Yeah.
Kind of, their skills shine the most, I would say, basically.
Yeah, I would agree with you, and I think with how qualifying went into the Open and the All-Star, I think drivers who are good at road courses they excelled at qualifying, because road courses are they take a lot of skill. There's a lot of braking involved, and if you're really good at handling road courses, I think you probably handled qualifying really well. So there's no surprise to me that some of our better road course drivers are up here. Not just to mention Ava and Raristoun, but also I've seen Lily Tolberson do pretty decent at road courses. But off of the point of road courses, Andrea Davison, she won at Charlotte, and I think that will also take into account for this kind of race. I feel like she will handle it pretty well. I think she's going to be a driver that we're going to have to look out for. Winning at Charlotte is no joke.
Yeah, and it'll be a different thing entirely. It'll be a different thing entirely translating that kind of skill over to the race itself, where management of runs and drafting are going to be very important. So that might be something where some of the drivers we've seen excel at big tracks their skills might start to shine a little bit in the race itself. We'll have to see, though. I mean, if you look at our super speedway winners, so far. You have the 62, I should say, winning at Daytona, Tjukovic. We've had the 55 and the 71. Little and DeLon won on our 2 milers, which are both kind of all still relatively drafting heavy, not as much, of course. And then if you look at the rest of the schedule, for races where kind of draft management really matters, it'll be interesting. It's interesting because let's see, if you look at the rest of the races, I guess you might take a look at, say, Las Vegas and Charlotte. Maybe that would be Davison and Vebels who won those races respectively. That might be something you have to look at. But yeah, we really haven't had a full plate race since Daytona. So, and things were very different in AWSCO when we ran the Daytona 500. So there's a lot of changes that have happened since then that it's going to be kind of hard to predict who's going to really do well here from the All-Star field.
Yeah, I agree with you. If you asked me to pick even a 5 drivers here that I think are probably going to win, it would be really hard because you can come up with any point about any of these drivers because some of them are good on road courses, some of them are good on the bigger tracks. We have a really big field of great drivers here, so it's going to be interesting to watch. I don't think any type of skill set in particular is going to necessarily sway me one way or the other to pick who I think will win so far. I mean, we haven't even seen them hit the road yet, so. But I will say, I think it'll be interesting to see them try and balance all of their skill sets and who's better at what here, and I think we're in for a very interesting race. I do want to say I still find it very interesting that Abby Little is up here in 4th place, row 2. That's just still mind-boggling to me given her performances early in the season.
Yeah, and if you want to look at the schedule real quick, this race kind of serves as a turning point to the second half. And the second half, I think, is a lot more plate racing heavy than the first half. I mean, we only had Daytona, arguably, in the first half of the schedule. But then you look at the second half of the schedule. You have Pensacola and Talladega, and I believe Atlanta as well, which are all going to be some form of pack racing, which kind of pack racing heavy the second half of the schedule. And with 2 of those tracks, being actually all 3 of those tracks being high stakes races, I think, being the finale and the middle races for the round of 12 and 8 respectively. It would be a really good if teams start kind of really stepping up their plate program here, because we haven't really had to mention that kind of skill set for the teams just yet. It wasn't particularly important in the first half of the season, but I think in the second half, that kind of skill set is going to become really important for drivers, especially for those that either want to make the playoffs on a win or are trying to advance through the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with your point, and whoever excels at that here, I think, is going to be good for the better second half of the season as well, given we're going to have a lot more, I'm eating something.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to see, given we're going to have more of those plate tracks, like you said, coming up. So whoever excels at this track and whoever excelled at Daytona, I think these types of racers are going to be better at this second half of the season. I think this second half of the season is also going to be very interesting because it's going to be very different from the first half. The first half was full of road courses to my memory, which was very fun to watch and was very interesting. I love road courses, but I also love bigger super speedway tracks, so I'm very excited for the second half of the AWSCO season.
Yeah, we're still going to have a few road courses in the second half of the schedule. But yeah, I mean, I think we only have 2 road courses in the second half of the season. 3 road courses in the second half of the season. That being, I believe, tentatively it would be Daytona Road Course, Watkins Glen, and Laguna Seca. Meanwhile, we have as many plate racing tracks as well, and then you also have some kind of wild cards like Indy, where kind of a bit of a hybrid, maybe closer to a Michigan or California style, non-drafting super speedway, quote unquote, where run management will be somewhat important, but not the end all be all of things. And with that, we'll take things over to the booth now as we finally get the iRacing All-Star race started. Once again, Echo and Eddie will join from the booth. Hopefully Eddie hasn't been exiled to whatever series now. Maybe doing go-kart. Maybe he'll do go-kart commentary next week. Maybe that'll be where he gets exiled to. But yeah, over to the booth with our booth members now.
Yeah, Eddie, you excited for go-karting next week?
Yeah, I am actually. Went go-karting recently. One of my friends nearly killed me for fun, so naturally I had to win that race. But regardless.
Oh, just for fun? It wasn't like anything.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, it was funny because he was like straight up just, I'm just gonna hit you in the right quarter panel and send you spinning down the backstretch. So, yeah, I got him back though. I didn't have to wreck him. I just passed him cleanly. Because he fell victim to the classic crossover, but
Yeah, kill him with kindness, you know.
yeah, exactly. Something that is definitely happening here too. But yeah, time for the main event. I wish I could make more wrestling references, but I'm not, because this is AWSCO, and yeah.
Yeah, we got a really interesting main event setting up here. 50 laps here in this one. 3 segments of, we'll go over the format real quick. 3 segments of 15 laps to start off this race, and then the final segment will be a 5-lap shootout for the win in the All-Star race. The only time we go to this track at all is for the All-Star race, so festivities this weekend. You know, this track, track that a lot of drivers really like to race on because it's so wide, so big, but it's also a great show for the fans. All right, well, with that being said, what do you think we're gonna see from this race? You know, especially after we watch the Open there.
Oh yeah, given the Open had a massive wreck, I'm going to assume people are going to stay conservative, probably for like the first 12 or so laps, maybe get a little more aggressive late in the first segment, and just see how their cars are going, because some drivers might play this the long run and sort of try and hit their stride third segment, trying to set themselves up for the 5-lap dash. And some might just be, you know, go as we go, we need the money, we'll see who's more aggressive on that end. But I have to imagine, I would hope that they've learned lessons from the Open, that the first 10 laps are sort of still just everyone setting their paces. But then again, this is AWSCO, and we've seen so many races, both Continental and Cup less than Continental, where first lap wrecks materialize out of nowhere. So I could see that happening, but I would like to imagine in my heart that people will be safer than the Open, and hopefully give us some good racing, at least some good full pack racing for the first 10 or so laps.
All right, well, here's your starting grid for the All-Star race, and who and how all they got here. Row 1, Ava Ajarsaraj won at Willow Springs and Mo Sports, 2-time winner this year, alongside another 2-time winner this year, Sidney Arariston in the 32, winner at Bristol and South Boston. Row 2, Periala Contes, winner at Denver, alongside Abby Little, winner at Michigan. Row 3, Bria Delod, 3-time winner this year at California, Road America, and Mexico City, and she's alongside Angeli Rigatino, who won at Calder Park. Row 4, the 93 of Irenia Tosima, who won at Phoenix, and also again last week in Sonoma, alongside the 6 of Gianni McJasmine, winner in Montreal. Row 5, the 31 Taylor Happeman, winner at Texas, alongside the 19 of Arlen Hanstrom, who won at Bathurst. Row 6 is the 39 Lily Talberson, winner at Pocono, and the 62 of Halis Jukovic, who won at Daytona. Row 7 is the 99 Mauricia Vebels, winner at Las Vegas, and the 13 Yanni Waterton, who won at Kentucky. In row 8, Andrea Davison, the final driver that got in via the win, is winner at Charlotte, alongside Adi Stoneman, advanced through segment 1 of the Open. Row 2 is segment 1 advancer Carly Byrne, and segment 2 advancer Mika Harina. And row 10, the 20 de Gabi Ariella, who advanced through segment number 2 of the Open, and the 16 of Sky and Jetta, who won the fan vote. So, 50 laps, But we're not going to go longer than 15 laps for any segments here. You think that that's going to get to these drivers a little bit? You think they're going to be a lot more aggressive, knowing that we won't have a big long run, or what do you think we're going to see here?
I think it's yes, but in a wait and see kind of yes, where I would imagine most people wait and see how the first couple laps play out before making moves, so that they don't end up getting caught in the big one. And as we saw with Lori Schliesenbach and a lot of those drivers, you get damage at this track, you lose the draft, and you're basically a non-factor for the rest of the race. And the amount of cars in the open was smaller than this race, and they ended up only having one wreck before everything got spread out enough that no one really needed the wreck to move the position. So I would like to imagine that the race will get more aggressive as it goes on, but I can't imagine that someone's going to try something insane in the first 5 or 10 laps. Having seen the open, having seen how many cars just were not factors at all in the open after the wreck, but we never know with these guys. We'll see.
Well, pace car's off. We're just about to get going for the all-star race here from the iRacing Superspeedway. Green flag is out. Here we go. We're racing for the all-star race. And Jarceraj off the jump gets a pretty solid start.
I was wondering how they would start, given Rairston got her wins on short tracks and Ajartharaj got her wins on road courses, and Ajartharaj held the inside well for that first turn, and on the other hand, Stimlia got put to the outside almost immediately by Abby Little. That didn't work for either of them, as they're now all pinched, and
They're
we're
going to go 5 wide on the first lap.
Well, they didn't listen.
Little's
And
in the
71's
wall.
in the wall. That's going to cause problems for everyone up there.
Going to stack them up, but they'll stay okay. And that first lap is going to be led by the 39 of Lily Talberson. Evans Ross Racing, the only team that got all four of their cars. The only 4-car team that got every car into the main event.
And 2 of them are going to be too wide for the lead, and to make it 3 and 4 wide.
That's 3 of them, as
39
Carly
lead.
Byrne just got up here.
Oh wait, that was Carly. Pilot Flying Jays. Too many red and orange cards. Too many red and orange cards. I need a Waterton's up here. I shouldn't be surprised. Literally anyone could be up here at the start of the race, albeit Harlan Handstrom starting to lose the draft just a little bit. And Jetta now leads the bottom lane. 31's back there as
Kaufman's
well.
back there as well. Rugatino's got the
Oh,
wall.
Rugatino!
They'll catch back up into the draft here, just because the drag is very the drag package here that they've got for these cars is high enough that it'll drag them back in.
Waterton's looking for the lead on Byrne, and Jetta's trying to get a push, maybe to go to the inside of Waterton. No, she's going to stay up. She's going to lead the farthest inside lane going in. No, it is going to be, and Jetta's just blocking everyone. She's picking her own lane, and she's going to find just the inside. Waterton blocked half that lane, so...
How about that?
Waterton and
Sky and Jetta started
no.
dead last, 20th. Harina's up in the fence.
Oh, yep. Ajartharaj is back down on the bottom. She's primed for a run.
And Jetta has gone
Jasmine
from
as
20th
well.
to 2nd in just 2 laps. How about that?
It's a good sign. That's a good sign.
I mean, that's how much ground you can make up at a track like this. As in Jetta goes for the race lead.
I mean, Jetta, you look at her in the point standings. She's only 30. She's 34 back, but be it that last race being Pensacola, her car, she can prove that she's kind of got this in the bag. Maybe she's primed for having the advantage going into Pensacola, assuming she has a shot. But again, she's giving up that inside to Handstrom, and Handstrom's gonna take it, bring Vebelt and Davison with her.
And remember how we
And
thought
Abby Little's
Handstrom
gonna
lost the
sneak in there.
draft? Remember how I thought Handstrom was out of it? She's gotten right back up here. These two, Harina
Relax.
and that's Harina and Rigatino that are sitting back here. That they have both pretty well lost the draft. Although that could change if we get somebody that drifts back there to pick them up.
Still 4 and 5 wide all around. As we
Ooh,
got
and
more
Jetta's
in the
in the
wall
wall.
and Jetta now. You gotta imagine at this point, maybe people start fighting to stay below someone, because if you're on the far outside lane, there's no guarantee that you do go up into the wall and take damage. And as you can see, some of the cards we've seen take damage. Harina and Rucatino currently losing the draft, so maybe people are going to be more aggressive in the cut to the inside, like Simley Rarison just did to Davison. He's going to have the lead tentatively. As you see up there,
Pebbles.
Marisha getting across. That's either, I don't know if that's
Oh,
gonna be
man,
a
they are-
damage.
they're
Yeah,
so
this
tight here.
guys. Come on, y'all. You don't need to do this. This isn't needed. It's only lap 5. The 19 is gonna block.
19's in
get
the wall
damage. 31's
again.
Gonna,
She's really
31
going
is
into
checkable
there.
a lot. Yep. Ooh. That sound like that was some kind of video game move right there. As it's gonna be Raristown. Stoneman now leading sort of the bottom lane for a second, but you gotta look out because that's Cosima is right. Nope, Cosima's gonna get stuck. So, ooh, 62 just Jukovic just nudged Stoneman out of the way to keep the bottom lane. No one ended up in the fence in the wall that time. If that holds. Cosima Stoneman makes the move down.
Stoneman going for it
Harley.
on her teammate Davison.
Harley Bird now is gonna get under Cosima, but it's gonna be Jukovic. Vich leading the.
They're 5 wide
Sort of
again.
leading that bottom lane pushes. Oh, they're Oh, and Jetta Hafferman and Vebels were bumping and banging there.
Vebels is out of the draft.
Wait, who's the 90? Oh, it's the 39. All right, I thought for some reason had the 39 and the 99 mixed up on paint schemes. Whoopsies. 62 though. That position, maybe lead a lap here.
I mean, it doesn't
Probably
really
Burns can at least
mean
do it.
anything to lead a lap, and it's not a
No.
points race.
But I mean, you want to be in the best spot for sort of blocking and being able to choose your lane. The problem is, Jukovic had that, and Carly Byrne was right behind her, and I think Byrne's going to be to her inside into turn 3, so Jukovic can't really do anything, but hopefully cycle back out.
It
32
is
is going to force it.
It is a cash bonus.
Yep.
For if you win a segment. So they did not detail to us how much that cash bonus is, but they have
Probably.
clarified that it is a bonus.
It's probably like $5 on McDonald's gift card at this point. Given what I know about AWSCO, and the 3 could have used that probably. I mean, we also got the McDonald's sponsored car, so I guess can't really be McDonald's. I don't know, we also got Taco Bell cars, so aren't really a lot of fast food places that aren't already sponsoring cars, so it's a bit difficult there. But and Jetta.
Look to the bottom,
is
couldn't do it.
Look, couldn't get it.
Talberson fighting with Carly Byrne. Here
He
comes
made Abby
Little.
Little jump to the inside. He's gonna get
62's
Jukovic
up in the
is
wall.
Gonna hold up 3. That's gonna hold up a couple cards.
It's going to hold up quite a bit of cars. They're going to slip back, and this
think
this
these
group
cars
back
can
here, I think those cars are just kind of trying to stay back and hope that if there's an incident, you know, they're just going to try and stay back there and
I think
not
that's
try
a
and
good
hurt
strategy
themselves.
too, because if they know that like this is just the first segment, they're gonna be right back on everyone's tail for the second one and then the third, assuming they don't have a lot of damage. Which I don't think the scraping the right side of the wall is really gonna hurt you too bad here on this track. So
No.
so you wait it out. Maybe they're I don't know, preserving tires maybe a bit. Maybe they want a little bit of an advantage. Let their opponents go all out on worn tires and try and take that advantage going into the third segment and the 5-lap dash. But we don't have we don't have any pit road things right now. They've kind of shut that off for us, so we wouldn't be able to know. Delod now the lead. Delod versus Njetta. Stoneman's trying to make it 3 wide, but doesn't have any help on the bottom there. Harrison's actually gonna jump in front of Stoneman. Do they get to the inside of Delod in turn? They're going to easily get to the inside of Delod in turn 1. Delad's holding up 2 lanes. Now they won't. The 9's up there.
Nine's way up, way up at the top. She just ticked the wall there, yeah. I think she'll be able to drop back in.
Coming to 5 laps. In this segment.
And this will be uncharted territory for a lot of these cars because we haven't seen a run that went longer than 5 laps, that went longer than 10 laps on this track yet.
Nope.
I mean, I guess technically this is kind of uncharted territory for even the open cars, but for the cars that were already locked in, they didn't have any real track time in a race environment. They obviously got 90 minutes of practice, but that was the whole field got those 90 minutes.
Well, we're gonna see if anyone if that gets anyone squirrely. Maybe Iowa becoming a factor. Extent we got we got 4 lanes. I think people just trying to work with each other. Although I say that, and the 32 decides to dump the 98 in the middle of everyone. What does Stoneman do? Does Stoneman run the top? Or I've noticed that leaders, they run the top and then try to just jump down to the bottom to block in the turn. As much as I like that approach, it's not going to help you on lap. Like you see there from Stoneman.
32 just got the wall.
Ooh, boy, that's
so did the 55.
Atlantic Racing. Delod. I think it's going to keep off of it. As much as to finish what I was saying, as much as I like that strategy of high to low when going into the corners, you do need to block that inside lane, especially going into turn 3 on the last lap, or you're just going to let a car by and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'd want to see someone attempt that strategy. 22 kind of attempted it there. Stayed low and then blocked, getting a good amount of a lead, but seeing it work into turn 3, I give people the confidence to run with it.
Now she's got everyone behind her kind of jumped in behind, but
yep, had about a half a car length there for a second, but Little is not letting her, pestering her, I guess would be the right word there.
Yeah. 20 car. Just got the wall there.
Gabby.
She's okay, I think. The 6,
yeah.
6 might have tipped it a little bit too.
As Little moved to the inside, got to the inside, Davison. Alacontes did too.
18 car there, 3 laps to go in this first segment.
Oh, it is 30. Appeman has returned to this pack. She might be a threat. He's at least going to put Alacontes to her outside. I'll give her and Ajarsaraj and Tostuma a run. Is it sustainable? Not entirely. Appeman blocks the middle, and I think Ajarsaraj is going to block the middle too. Tostuma might have the best inners into turn 3. How many cars can she get in front of? No, she's just going to leave that too.
They're going to be 5 wide.
This is going to be 5 wide. Stoneman's going to make it 5. Oh, watch the wall.
Oh, 13 got the wall, but they checked up. They managed to hang on to it.
Yikes.
That was close.
Oh, that was incredibly close. And now Appeman Ooh, Alicante's gonna let her have a moment of rest here. Yep. Alright, Alicante's gonna have the lead in turn 1 unless Stoneman makes an absolute incredible dive bomb here. Nope. Want to try
really
it? That
close
cut
enough to.
something happened there that cut off a lot of these cars, forcing them to go single file. Not as bunched up as they were.
Well, yeah,
But
that was the that one car, the 13, getting in the wall in front of them, and
Yep.
it checked up a bunch of cars because they were 5 wide when she got in the wall. There goes Stoneman.
Stoneman.
Car in the wall. Was that the 31? I believe that was the 31.
And that's going to end her chances for this segment, but on the front stretch, 1 lap to go.
One lap left in this first segment.
Houseman was going to go straight to the inside. Stoneman's going to look the block. Oh, no.
She
she's
can't
not
do
gonna,
it.
She's not going to try it, no.
Not enough time.
Well, I think
Look at that.
he thought Tosuma wasn't getting the push, and Tosuma somehow, Ad Alicante's not helping her out at all. As
They're going to race back to the line.
22 now. 22, 71, 39. Place your bets. Who makes... see, everyone's peeling off. 31 might have suddenly have a chance at this. If she can get the 39 up into the turn, make it a drag race.
93 is not going to be able to stay clear of the 22. Here comes Talverson. Oh, those two in the wall.
Oh,
McJasmine,
already.
Stoneman. Side by side between Davison and Tosuma. Davison doesn't have help. This might be close down to the line. They're going to be side by side. It's
and
going
Jetta
to
left
be...
her.
I
That's
don't
Davison.
know. Davison got it.
We've got 0.00 seconds.
0.003.
1/100th of a second. Actually, 3/1000ths. Or as Michael Waltrip would say, 1/16 of an inch.
And Andrea Davison just squeezes out that first segment victory.
Yeah, Red Racing might not have gotten all their cars in, but they certainly got, something for the team in that cash bonus, however much it may be. Although I imagine it's little, but yeah, no. I think the 96 has got to be yelling obscenities at the 16, because I think the 93 has that if Guy doesn't try to force it 3 wide through the middle and get rid of all her help. But yeah, it's just how it goes. You can't control how other people are gonna drive around you. You just gotta make sure that you just gotta put yourself in the best position to work with whatever they do. And Davison made it work.
Yeah, great piece of driving from Andrea Davison there. And so that concludes the first segment. Davison just squeaks out the segment victory, 3/1000ths of a second was what that margin is tallied at, and we got some cars coming down pit road. Some cars coming down pit road. Some cars are choosing to stay out.
I want to see what they do on the pit road, because if I can imagine it's some kind of maybe just a gas up, but I want to see if any cars are like staying in extended, almost like damage repair. I wouldn't imagine it, but maybe someone caught the wall a bit too many times. Yeah, and that's the car to watch to see how far they fall off. Is
Arena
34
and Byrne.
and 9 are already in the pits. Okay.
What happened to those two?
Certainly a choice.
Did something happen to those two after the start-finish line? Oh. Oh, wow.
My God.
They just stacked up.
That's what,
Nine
so
car
that might be
spins.
why. And the 9 flip going what, 60?
Well, that's that
Just with
banking
the banking?
transition. That's what happens with the banking transition.
Oh, and someone's got a front
Looks like-
end ripped off, so
That's Handstrom, 19 car.
Handstrom. So those are getting towed, so that must have been why so many cars pit. They're had a little bit of damage from whatever that was. And well, so we got away. We didn't have any wrecks, but we did have nonsense after the green checkered flag flew. So
After the caution flag.
yeah. What do we call it? I'm not asking. But yep. All right. So hopefully that'll calm people down, and we'll get another good stage. Hopefully with no. Hopefully they can still fight in it. I mean, not gonna be a help to the aerodynamics, but we've seen crazier at speedways without people can keep their cars in the race.
So, lights are going to be out on the pace car here. We'll be going back green for segment 2 very quickly. So, to lap 33 on the timing board. 9 and 34 have dropped a lap, so I don't imagine they'll even be continuing in this one, but it looks like most of the cars that came down pit road just did fuel and damage repair.
Yep. People did do damage repair. They just did damage repair not because of wall scraping, but because of something else entirely. Oh. Yeah.
So Tosima is the leader. Tosima and Jetta, Talberson, Yukovic, Ajarsaraj, I believe all stayed out. I don't know who all came to pit road. 34 is coming back out. Gonna be off the lead lap, but she is coming back out onto the track. The 9 car, they're doing some more work on that car.
Finally got towed around, I think.
Pace car will pull off here. Tosima and Jetta, Talberson, Yukovic, Ajarsaraj, the top 5 as we go back to green here in the All-Star race. Green flag back out. Here we go. As I expected, the 9 car did retire from the race, so Carly Byrne done for the day, as we are 4 wide for the race lead.
You're not see what well, that was single file action. I guess maybe they're a bit scared of single file on the track now after what we witnessed post yellow flag flying. So maybe 3 wide. Maybe they feel 3 wide is safer right now. It hasn't caused any wrecks yet. Still could. 98's gonna move down. So it's gonna be is that 2 Mason Parker Motorsports and then Abby Little of MNC on the top 3 spots as of right now. Does look like a couple of cars are unfortunately off the paces. Oh boy, down to the apron goes the Weddy Stoneman.
19 cars off the pace right now. Looks like these 2 are kind of straggling. Everybody else, though, is looking pretty okay in terms of speed. So on the timing board, this is the second lap. This is the second segment, 15-lap segment. Caution flag will be flown at lap 33. Caution laps do not count towards the official race distance. However, they will count because because of the limitation within the game itself.
Who else to spoil the Mason Parker 1-2 right now? But little friend sent from ERR. Risha Vebbel's currently trying to catch him, but he's gonna need to enlist the 31 and the 16 to give her the push. Maybe 93 can create an ERR sandwich and to work. Although 31 has decided to gracefully back out of it, so it's 16.
18 and 98 leading the way here. Those two sitting there right now, but here comes Vebbels looking to the inside of Ajar Siraj. Looking to break up that that tandem there. And here comes Happeman trying to break that up as well.
Ooh, what?
And in the end, nothing's going to happen.
Interesting line from Happeman.
Whoa, the 34.
Oh, what happened to the 34?
Stop on the track. I don't know
We
what's
have a
happened there. No caution.
Alright, well, they just towed her back, I guess. That's almost like tire go down-ish. Weird.
That was a bit absurd.
99.
It looked like a couple cars had to jump out to, looked like a couple cars had to jump out of line to, basically it's like a panic reaction.
Yep. There she goes. 99.
Vebbels looking to the inside again. I'm not sure she'll be close enough, though.
No. As a wise man once said, "Where's my 8 wide racing?" We have had a certain lack of it these past couple of laps. Can't tell if that's a saving or just people being a bit wary of what has happened on the track so far.
Well, I think
71
it'll come up at some point.
Oh well. Patience is a virtue. 71 just is like one of the only drivers willing to make moves around here.
Ellie, you know what's happened to the 34 there?
Yeah, so it looks like the brakes had some issues, and it led to them eventually fading. So they had to tow her all the way to pit lane.
Well, this isn't really a track that you really need braking at, unless I guess you're slowing down for the cautions. But
I think that might have been their decision to just let it get towed and stop it on the racetrack. Might have been you don't, as much as you can probably get around with no brakes back to the pit stall. It's still you kind of need those. Might as well just not put any more cause any more problems with the car trying to get it around. Just let the tow truck do the work for you. Unfortunately, she will be. I just saw her coming out of pit road. She will be multiple laps down, but. At this point, you have a car with missing a front end, so you could be worse for wear in that regard.
we've got 10 laps to go in this segment.
Right now, it's a crazy jump down to the bottom.
Alicante's still out front.
She's lost her drafting partner.
Yeah, the
Now it's
98 got
happening.
shuffled. Now the 31 sits behind her, and now the 31 may end up looking to the inside. Yes, she does. Here comes Taylor
Yep.
Happeman.
Does she have the run? Maybe. Hard to tell from this angle. It looks to me, from my viewpoint, that she is. Did she have the lead? No, she's gonna have to rely on a push on the 39. 18 must have drove out of the corner better then. Now we've got the 39 and the 90. What does the 39 choose here? Go with the 93, or nope? She's gonna keep pushing the 31, and the 31's gonna leave her to stick the middle, and then
18
be immediately
shuffled.
pulled out by Toastema.
18 got shuffled, and now the 31's going to get shuffled. Here comes Anjeta in the 16. Here comes Jukovic in the
There's my 8
62.
rod racing. There's my 8 rod racing. And yep. Jukovic is bringing friends too. Abriola and Direct Garage are willing to follow her as you're getting.
Henstrom is being
Towards
parked for
the-
DVP.
Yeah.
Or minimum speed,
Unfortunate,
I should say.
Nothing that was really her fault, but it was an unfortunate way to sort of end this All-Star.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tough end for Handstrom.
hey, Mason Parker Motorsports still has 3 cars in the running. Technically. Yeah, because it's the 9 who got knocked out.
Jeez,
the
that was
98,
tight. The
18,
62 and the
yeah, that
71
was
nearly made
terrible.
they touched each other's quarter panels there. Happman
How
clear
tough
out
is it
front
to
right
clear?
now.
Alright, Alicia's not in this. I forgot about that. Wait. Oh, no. The other Burns sister made it in. That's why I'm getting confused.
Yeah, Carly Byrne.
Yeah.
And
Mason
she's out
Parker
of
Motorsports
race.
only got 3 cars in here, but I mean, Mason Parker had a good run. Maybe they can try and put it together for the end of the segment. Although 98's not. 98 almost ran straight through the 20 and had to check up. Although 71 to get to the quarter panel. And 21 in the 16 right now, kind of leading the bottom. 31's gonna have to make a choice to stay with the other one
wow.
or not. 16.
Look at how hard they jump out.
She blocked the
18 and the 16 both wanted the inside lane, and the 18 decided she wanted it more.
I think the 16 tried to block the 18, thinking she was gonna be able to get the push, and the 18 essentially told her, "No, I have a run, and I'm gonna run straight through you if you stay down there." So 16 made the wise choice to choose survival.
Here comes Alicantes with that run again. When Alicantes was leading, she was the one who strung this field out the most, strung it single file the most of anybody. So. Alicantes back out front. Abby Little's moved up to second. You got Vebel, Stentosima, third and fourth.
Just like that, the 18 took another car and said, "We're running away with this." 98, 16, 39, all fighting for the bottom lane into turn 3.
Yeah, and once again,
93 gonna
just
make a
like
big
we
move?
saw
No.
last time with the 18, she's got a manufacturer teammate behind, and Vebelston third right behind those two.
It's
I
gotta
don't know
think
if
of that
Abby-
again.
I don't know if Abby Little's going to be particularly kind to Alicantes, though. At least not as much as Ajarsraj would. It might not even matter.
Right there, they tried to run on the outside. If only the 99 didn't give a little bit of help to the 18.
99
That's gonna
bailed. The
spread
third
everyone out.
93 also bailed on her. The 39 is going to bail on the 93. No teamwork at ERR right now. It's going to end
Maybe
up
something
in
about the Mercedes
Vebel's
cars.
taking
3
second.
wide. 3 wide. Maybe. Well, good time. Hey, ERR. I don't want to alarm you, but Ajarsraj is pulling into fourth. If you want to not let this happen, and as soon as I say that,
There goes Talberson.
39 decides I don't care. I'm taking. I'm to your inside. Block me if you want to. Find me.
I don't know if
She
she
was
wants to
not-
play like that with Vebels, but it's
Not a no, never.
maybe
I
a
would have
rare
to say
bit of
sometimes.
restraint there from Mauricia.
Mm-hmm. I think there is some probably at least thought around teammates of drivers that are normally considered aggressive that well, I'm their teammate, they're gonna spare me, and I think sometimes you just gotta realize these drivers they sometimes they don't want to spare anyone, and I think you're correct in saying that Bebel definitely showed restraint there. We'll see if she has to if they get any deeper into the stage, and there we end up in a similar situation because it's already seeming like deja vu with the 18 taking a second draft car and sort of pulling away from people.
Andrea
Everyone else is kinda
Davison
having to
just
deal
came
with it.
down the pit road. That doesn't appear to be off of an issue, so
Interesting choice.
The 39 might get help from the 98.
She's looking underneath Alicantes right now. I think she may make the move here coming onto the front straightaway. No, she sticks behind. 3 laps to go in the stage.
Abriella
Just pulled down.
Uh, 98 peeking.
I think some of those cars that didn't take fuel, that stayed out on this last stop, are kind of feeling it a little bit now, because now they're running out of fuel. They're starting to have to pull down pit road and fuel up. I think that's what's happening here.
Yeah, 98 is the looking to put the 39 wide. We might be in an 18 and 98 1-2 and just a 2-turn set. No.
39's able to stay ahead.
Alberson has got to be feeling the heat. Can't get around the 18. Oh,
Yep,
is
there
the
we
90?
go.
No, they're gonna
39,
pit.
98, 93, 62 all coming down pit road.
18's gonna be strung out. How long will this last? If either of these cars might work together better than the last couple have, and if they do, then it's lights out. We got like 2 laps left on the stage though.
Yeah, just 2 to go in stage number 2.
Nine to 16, they're gonna need to either work with each other or find some other help. Nope. 18's gonna keep the block.
18's going to keep ahead, but is she going to have to pit?
We'll see.
16's
Nope,
coming
16
in.
will though.
So last lap of stage number 2.
Imperial Alicantes, hold them off.
Well, it's pretty clean sailing for her right now. But now I think if she has to come in, she's going to have to make that pit stop under yellow. And these cars that are still out here are going to have the opportunity to stay out under the caution. Yeah, most of these cars looks like they took right sides and full load of fuel, so.
Could be good at the end of the race. Here we go. Does the 18 make a tough decision? Be a bad time. 31's gonna pull. Oh, nope. 31 tried it, but it's not gonna matter.
It'll be Alicantes who wins segment number 2. So we are halfway through the segments. We're actually a little further past. We're actually a little past halfway in the race, but this is what I would consider to be the halfway point, as we've had a bunch of cars come down pit road there to try and avoid coming down during the segment break. So with that, I think that means it's time to send it down to the FanDuel Fan Studio for our very brief mid-race report here between with Rashi and Ellie. What do you two have for us midway through the All-Star race?
Yeah, we're halfway through the All-Star race right now. I believe our segment winners so far have been the 21 of Davison and the 18 of Alicantes. And it's been really interesting to see that the only incident that we've seen so far has been under caution with the stack-up that we saw. I think that's really it. But otherwise, they've been pretty good still a little bit wobbly. A couple cars, I think a couple cars coming in now to take fuel. Some others already came in, I believe. Came in under green. We'll see. It's interesting to see strategy take place now in the race. We'll see what this means for the third segment. But yeah, pretty clean racing up front right now. I should say pretty clean racing throughout. I really, and good stuff coming in from these drivers at the 3 Mile Speedway.
Yeah, I've been pretty impressed with what I've seen, especially from Alicantes. Her racing has been really clean, and she's really good at blocking drivers off from trying to make any moves. I've been really I've been on the edge of my seat at times here, trying to see if anybody would pass her. It's been a really interesting race so far. I do want to say it seems like Abby Little is racing really good as well. She keeps trying to make moves. Sometimes she doesn't get clean air, but when she does, she moves up really fast, and it's been decently impressive from her.
Yeah, the 18's been really good at playing the blocking game. We'll see now what happens, because she's now going to start kind of in the midfield here. A lot of cars that came in and took a splash of fuel now going to cycle up to the front of the pack.
It looks.
What's going on back there? Just a bit of reshuffling, I believe. Just kind of setting things up for the third segment of the race. What do you think will be? I assume we'll be expecting more of the same here coming into this next segment. It'll be the 16 of Sky and Jetta, our fan vote winner, leading the way once we'll get back underway here. 34 coming in now with just a bit of extra work on that car. Everyone else continuing to stay out. 6 and what's that? 6 and the 22, I think. Yeah, it was the 6. It was the 6 and 22 that both came in. That both had longer stops. I wonder if those two are damaging any sort of way. Maybe they had trouble coming in.
That would do it, but my opinion of the third segment here, I think we will probably see some of the same racing we already saw. My only other point is I think it might be a little bit more aggressive since it's the third segment. We're getting close to the end.
We're getting close. Yeah, we're getting closer to the finish. So I think these guys are going to be starting to prioritize track position a bit more than before.
Yeah.
Although I say that there's still quite a bit of racing left. Maybe once we get to 10 laps to go, so 5 left in a segment, and then 5 left in a segment, and the 5 laps at the end. That might be where you start seeing more aggressive blocking take place. In that case, I think we'll have to see. Where is that 18 car? That 18 is. I don't think she's in the top. She's 11, so she's gonna have to. She has quite a ways to go to be able to get back to the front. We'll see how that 18 does carving up through the field. That'll be the real interesting part. She's been very good up front. We'll see what happens to her if she's now that she's in the midfield.
Yeah, and I think she can pull it off. She did it earlier, and I wouldn't be too surprised if she would pull it off again.
Yeah, she might. Yeah, as long as she can get up to the front, I think it's going to be, she might be able to work her magic a bit more. Now, with the pace car about to go off, we'll push it back to the booth now for Echo and Eddie's coverage of the second half of the race.
And you two don't even have any fan picks?
Oh yeah, might as well put in our fan picks. Sure, why not? That's a good idea, actually. Well, as we get to the start, I might start things off now. I'm going to go with the 39 of Lily Tolberson. The ERR cars have been pretty strong so far at this race. And as a collective, they've been pretty good. The 9 were kind of taken out in that stack up, but otherwise, I think the 93 and 90 and 39 are still fairly competitive. The 99 has also been showing flashes of speed. I think the ERR stable is going to be one to really look out for coming to the for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I agree with your point. I really like how the 39 has been racing. I also like how the 71 has been racing. I'm kind of in between those two, but I think I will actually just pick the 39 as well.
Yeah, another car to look out for is that 71 of Abby Little. Of course, she took a win at Michigan at another drafting heavy track. Not quite like this one, but as you see her making a 4-wide move, I think now will be a good time to push things over to the booth now. with Echo and Eddie.
Eddie, you got a fan pick?
Who can I not? Well, yeah, who can I not curse at this point? I'll go with Harina. Atlantic
She's
Racing has
4
had,
laps down.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, at this point, I've missed so many like picks in my career calling these races. Picking someone 4 laps down is probably better than picking anyone who has a shot, because given people's opinions about me and AWSCO right now, I don't want to piss anyone else off, because if this comes to a Democratic vote, I'm already probably like 53 to 47. So I'm not gonna say which side would want me out and which side would want me to stay in that argument, but yeah, I don't need any more enemies around here.
I thought it would be 100-0.
That's your opinion.
I'm not gonna say which side that wants you out either. All
Well,
right.
if it's 100-0 in your opinion, I think I know what side you're on.
Well, I'm gonna go with Perry Alicantes in the 18. Had a very dominant car in that second segment. Led quite a bit of it. Managed to stick up front for quite a while, and she's been one of the cars that they've struggled to get past. So I'm gonna take that 18 of Perry Alicantes. The city host says 51-49, down to a few voters in Florida.
Knowing my family in Florida and my recent interactions with them, it's a real toss-up right there.
Well, Alicantes
Davison
has the lead, but here comes Andrea Davison. She just got the free pass to get back on the lead lap, and she's already up here.
Bye-bye.
It's been a remarkably clean race. I'm kind of surprised we haven't really seen any incidents so far in this one. But here comes Vebels now looking to the inside.
Still holding in there in the middle lane.
Yeah,
Managed to
really good
let
job.
the 22 get around her, as 71 and 39 are not going to let that. Well,
71 bailed.
71's going to drop out. 39.
Here
Yep.
comes the 31. Here comes the 93.
You wide.
They're going to be 3 wide for the lead, and Tosma's got the push from Ajar Siraj. And I wonder if Ajar Siraj might take him 4 for the lead. She will.
Yep.
Oh, there goes Vebels! Big crash. Rariston's into the inside wall. Halis Jukovic spins down the track. No caution. We stay green.
And what do you know? All the Atlantic Racing cars except for the one I picked. See how this works. That was there. Yep, and there's 34. But yeah, that was a Haluva impact from the 62. He's all right. As
99's already out of the race. Oh, there goes Jukovic. 99 Vebels just retired from that. Tosma leading. Little up second. You see the tire marks there.
One left. All 18's gonna try and help this 71, or at least maybe was looking to try and sneak between the 16 and the 6, and like just leaving her no room. She is gonna push 71 though. With ideas on that, but 16 now has to, trying to hold off that. If you don't want that 18 to get to the lead under
5 wide.
circumstances right
Look
now.
at the 22.
And we're
Oh,
five-
the 6 cuts her off.
6 cuts her off, and then Dark's back in line. 18 is going to be... Because of that, 18 is going to be kind of leading the group on the bottom lane. 71's going to try and get the run on the 93. 18-6. Oh, what was that, Abby? Shot down to the inside lane.
She is getting aggressive. 9 to go in this stage. Rariston's out of the race. Yukovic is still running. The 62, although... she's not that off the pace.
You just need a draft, I think, if she can hold on to him. Is there anyone in front of her that would get the lucky dog at this point?
Yukovic is still on the lead lap.
So, well, assuming she goes a lap down because of lack of draft, you could still be in the mix for the 5-lap dash, assuming no one else gets lapped, which I don't think. She's in danger of it. I don't think there's anyone else that far off.
See, what's her lap time gonna be once she crosses? .104.
That's not that bad. See if she does in the draft. But, you know, she'll have to fight to get there. At least fight to survive. '93 now. Getting a
Pretty big lead, yeah.
sort of
Tosin was
major
well
run.
out there.
Everyone else is just kind of going in circles back here. While the 93 gets a good car length and a half lead on first garage, but
Yeah,
really,
but for how long?
if she doesn't enter this corner well, our Darth Garage can really make up some time, and kind of see it there. Darth Garage doesn't have any help though. But don't look now. The
Yeah, Jarsharage's help is kind of
that.
draft. Jarsharage's help is kind of just that she's drafting the 93.
18's trying to get there, but can't find any consistent help from behind. Everyone just kind of still aiming for that bottom lane. If you can see the, I think that's the, 6 over there. It's just
going
hugging the
full
apron.
wide again.
Kind of bouncing off of it.
18 is here
98
with the
looking well.
98. 18 dives low.
Dives. She had the run. She might have to run to push the 98 up. Does she have the run to push the 93? Now she's trying to get back in line.
She
Take a
lost
little
her
bit.
help.
Or at least just, yep.
She's going to drop behind the 22 now. Excuse me. Okay. For some reason the game decided to tab itself out.
Classic.
20 is...
Our director loves trolling us at sometimes during these very important events, so we try to stay serious and productive, and we'll just hit that button. Love that.
There's the 20 of Gabriella. She's running a minute 3 on her lap times without a draft. So I think that's where you want to look to see, you know, what kind of lap times are going to be good enough to keep you in the pack. And I think 62 will probably the 62 is pretty close to that. So I don't think the 62 won't be parked here. These cars are gonna.
Davidson's gonna get held up.
They're gonna drop the 62 in. Yeah, they're gonna drop the 62.
Oh, people going up and down, and Jetta's gonna go up.
And
realize
Jetta
that was
wanted a little
mistake.
draft off the 62.
Playing shot. 93, 98, 71.
Those two single file. Those three single file for the lead. Not for long though, because here comes Little to the inside on a Jarsaraj. And it's really starting to spread out.
Nope.
Oh, 71 looked high.
71. Whoa, weird entrance. That's, yeah. That entrance into the corner. 98
That wasn't
22
great.
and take
Now here
advantage.
comes the Jar Siraj. Here comes Davison. They're going to go 3 wide down the front straightaway.
Where's
Who's
the
gonna have the
31 to
most
18
help?
go? 18 goes down. 18 tries to get by the 31. 22 just came up on the 31. It's going to push her up. 16's looking towards the bottom of the 18. Will he get there? No, she'll fall back in line. Up at the 98, 90. Up at the 98 in the best position to catch 93. We got about 3 laps left.
Yeah,
Or is it 2? Oh, it is 3.
it's 4 laps left. 4 laps left in this in segment number 3. Oh, they're catching the 39 of Talverson. She's slow. I guess evidently that was one that was missed. Oh, she comes down into the pits and turns the 18. And a tough luck for Alicantes there. Harry Alicantes really just got hurt by that one so bad. Talverson tried to come to pit road and just wasn't clear the 18 there.
Love it when my mic suddenly decides to myself off the worst possible time. But yeah, no, that was a really unfortunate move, and worse, it's ERR and Red Racing, 2 teams that already aren't really good friends right now. So
Brother, the 18 is MPM.
correct. My point still stands. It's MPM and ERR. They are not friends. We might need security to the garage.
Oh, 55 is stopped.
Oh, no. And that's just like with the 34.
Ellie?
Yikes.
Well, before that stop, the tires, we heard that the tires went down on the 55. I'm not sure why the 55 stopped there like that, but a tire went down on the 55. I think we'll wait to find out more if anything else happened.
I'm gonna assume right there and then that I might be more or less a tire slash and more. Oh, I ripped off. We're coming to the.
Going to the last lap of segment 3. Little look to the inside of Tosima, but couldn't do anything. And now she's going to drop that spot to a Jar Siraj on the 98. See if the 98 can build up a run.
For the 93.
See if the 98 can build up a run. Tosima, the last week's winner in Sonoma. Oh, little steps out in a Jar Siraj, though.
Yep. There goes her help.
These 3 with a bit of a gap on the rest of the pack. But that's going to be reset here, as we'll get to the start-finish line. Tosima will lead them to the start-finish line. And Arinia Tosima will be your segment 3 winner.
Turn 4 suddenly becoming the nightmare corner. for a couple of drivers. We see the 18's coming back on track. Not happy.
I'm not sure where the 18's going, but
This might just be this might be a cooldown lap, and not in terms of the race car, but the driver.
there she goes. Well, Yukovic in the 62 will get the free pass here. So we get settled in, and we'll have our final 5-lap segment here. Let the rest of the field catch up. It will be our final 5-lap segment will be the one that will be the most key for everybody here, because that's where you got to make the moves count. So Tosima, Little, Ajarsaraj, and Jeddah happen in the top 5. Then it's Davison, McJasmina, Stoneman, Waterton, Abriella in the top 10. Rigatino, Alicantes, Yukovic are the ones that are the remaining cars on the lead lap.
I mean, at this point, we've seen kind of it all. We've seen classic AWSCO stack up during the caution. We've seen some race enders. Well, very problematic decision making out of drivers, costing other drivers. We've seen, hard wreck. It wouldn't be the AWSCO All-Star race without me saying that this has kind of been a microcosm of AWSCO Cup Series this season. And now we got to figure out who wins it. And with Alicantes in the back of the field, as much as I think Tosima has been doing something similar to what Alicantes did in segment 2, I do feel like the 93 isn't going to have what he needs on this segment to hold him off for 5 whole laps, so we might have another cycle running. We might have just a cycle of cars coming through, and really could be anyone in this 13 car field that could take the win.
55, Delad's gone back out on track, so it will be 5 laps. And we got Tosima, Little, Ajarsaraj, and Jeddah, Happeman, Davison, McJasmina, Stoneman, Waterton, Abriella, Rigatino, Alicantes, and Yukovic all with a chance at this one. Delad's 3 laps down, and Harina's still 4 laps down, so they're just trying their best. All right. Pace car will pull off. One final run to the finish. Here in the All-Star race at the iRacing Super Speedway. Who will get it done? Green flag is out, and we're racing to see who wins the All-Star. Here goes Little already to the inside.
Still new. Couldn't pass the 93 all by herself. Had to take the opportunity to slingshot here. What side does the Jarceraj choose? The Jarceraj chooses the bottom. Little's gonna get in front rather easily, and there's probably where the cycle begins if cars can keep straight lines on that inside. We can have challengers make this race really close.
Happeman's here. Here comes McJasmina. Here comes Davison.
Davison running an interesting line, but she's gonna have to dive bomb it to it. Well, she's gonna at least be on the inside of Stoneman. Not McJasmina though. Appa and Jammy. They're gonna get to the inside a little.
31 to the
Too fast for the
inside.
race lead. Do they have the push? Little is not lined up with the Jarceraj at all. To the line. Oof.
Gabriella
And then got it. Hugging the apron.
looking to the
Hugging the
inside
apron
for a
works.
wide.
It works until you have to lead that sort of bottom lane towards the leader, and then you gotta run with whoever's behind you. But it can work to kind of get you to the inside of a couple of these cars and start taking them off one by one.
31's here. Here comes
See
the
Gabriella
20.
trying it again.
Here comes the 93. 71's gonna look down low.
Get there.
She will.
won't need the
Jarceraj is
help
gonna
either,
trail
Jar-
with her.
Jarceraj took it a while getting down there. Wonder what the idea on that is. 3 laps to crossing the line here.
3 to go.
It will be Little. Jarceraj and Jetta's gonna pull into third. And Jetta's gonna line up with the Jarceraj.
16 lines
Until
up.
maybe she makes the move.
Nope, she thought about it. Big push coming to the 98 though. 16 goes low.
Oh, 93 is following too. 93 got to the ins. Was that a
93's going for the
reaction or a move
spot.
by the 93? Did the 93 decide that the 16 going down low meant she had to go down low to get under the 16? Won't know. Probably might never know, but the 98 is right on the back over the 71.
98's pushing. But how long is she going to want to push here?
She's looking a bit low here. Maybe she holds down. Oh, she's going to line up.
Stays behind. 93 of Tosima's got the run. Down to the inside. 2 to go. Abby Little trying to hold
90.
on. Is Tosima there?
No.
No.
Nope.
But she'll be with the
98
98.
keeps. 98's like half a car lower than Abby is on these turns. The problem is that isn't getting her the run she wants to get. To the
Oh,
left
here comes
quarter
the
panel.
93.
Tosima's making moves. Yep.
20's going to follow. Or the 20's
Alright,
going to
Gabriella
go on her own line here.
good.
Jarceraj staying behind Little. How long is she going to do that for? Here she goes to the inside.
Not
Goes
any
the
longer.
98.
He managed to force her wide.
White flag. 1 lap to go. Tosima's here looking 3
Tosima
wide to
left
the
her,
inside.
Tosima left her. Yanni is still. That is Yanni. Yes, that is Yanni. Is
That's
still in the mix.
Waterton. She hasn't been here all day. Tosima's going to drive by them
Gabriella
both.
just jumped,
Here
yep.
comes the 20.
Gabriella too. Oh, she's gonna hold.
She's
with the
got
90.
there.
Nope, she got her.
She's got her underneath.
Oh, she's still got to fight off the 13 and 31.
Oh, there goes the
they're
98.
looking.
McJasmina and Jetta. Stoneman. We stay green. It doesn't matter. It's the final lap. We're 4 wide for the race lead.
31's got the advantage of the turn. Does anyone get any help? 93 got a run.
93
This
got a
might set
great run up
31
high.
perfectly. 71's gonna dive in. 93's gonna hold him. Oh, the 31 needs the run here and now.
31
should
needs
get
the
the
run, but
push.
she's not gonna get it. Not gonna get enough. It's gonna be Tosuma. And Arinia Tosuma will be the winner of the inaugural iRacing AWSCO All-Star Race. Tosuma gets it done. What a finish.
I don't know what Tosuma had on that backstretch, whether it was a push or just the speed to handle it, but the fact that it went from 4 wide to her basically ahead of everyone below her, because she was on the far outside, and she cleared all 3 of the cars underneath her, and no one was catching her after that. Hit the 20, the 13, and the 31, and she just kept her foot in it, and no one was. And once she entered turn 3, there's nothing you could have done about it.
Do you think that counts as back-to-back? She won Sonoma and she wins here at iRacing Super Speedway. You know it's not a point. It's not a points race, but Tosuma did it again.
I'd call it. I mean, she's already into the playoffs, but it certainly makes her a threat for a race. I mean, I don't want to talk about Talladega, even though it is one of the longer races on late in the season. That, for goodness sake, is technically a road course, but. You talk about Indianapolis, Pensacola, Talladega late in the season, and Arinia Tosuma, after we saw Perry Alicante seem like she was a dominant car, Tosuma really locked in those last 20 laps and ran it all the way. No other notes. Good job.
Yeah, great job by Tosuma.
Certainly a way to.
Go ahead.
Certainly a way to get momentum. Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly a way to get momentum going into the second half of the season is take the last 2. We'll look forward to see what he can do. What he can do in the other tracks, because you gotta win a road course, you gotta win at a super speedway. Those are about as different a track as you can drive.
And she's got to win at a short track as well in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
No, won't count on the stat sheet as 3 wins, but she's got 3 wins. All right, well, with that being said, we're going to take you back to the FanDuel Fan Studio for the post-race show with Ellie and Russia. What do you two got for us over there?
What in the world was that last lap? That was just all sorts of jostling around for position. They were definitely more aggressive in that last run. We saw a lot of goofy moments, I think, as I would say. I think cars were kind of just flailing about everywhere, and it kind of the fuse was kind of lit at the end there with that last lap wreck. At that point, there's no giving space at that point, so it kind of makes sense that someone was gonna wreck at the last lap there, as everyone was jostling around trying to get any kind of run going. Which I think really helped the 93 of Arinia Tosuma take that win. The ERR cars looked very strong. In that second half still. It was just a shame that 2 of them were taken out by incidents. But the last remaining ERR car managed to hold it together and pull away at the end there. But so congrats to the 93 team and ERR as a whole. Lots of money are coming over their way. I think the 93 also won the 3rd segment, so that's a little extra on top of that. But yeah, and then if you look at the rest of the top 5, it's basically all underdogs. You had the 31, 71, 13, and 20. That's the kind of crazy results you get from these plate races, and it'll definitely make things exciting for a bit of a nice preview, I would say, for some of the races we'll be getting at the end of the season.
Yeah, that race was insane, especially that last lap, that crash. I was really trying not to yell because it was just ridiculous. I am definitely very impressed, and the 93 definitely took advantage of that crash, came out of nowhere and just took it away. That was really something. maybe I wasn't paying attention to her too much. I was more focused on the front, right? Because it was just the front was so crazy. It was back and forth. Abby
Yeah.
was trying to get past. 98 was trying to get past. Everybody was just trying to shuffle through. It was very fun to watch. And then the 93 took advantage of that crash and just took it away. It was definitely something.
And yeah, what about that 71 of Abby? A very impressive run, I think, for her. And we kind of pointed her out. She was strong in Michigan, and we'll see. We talked about how that could translate to this track, but I think it translated really well. She was very good with the draft here today. That 71 team might be one to look out for at these big tracks.
Yeah, I would agree with your point. The 71 looked really good this track. She handled it really well. She wasn't too all over the place like some of the other drivers I saw earlier. She was just overall very she was like a very front figure of this race. Like she was there in the front for a good majority of the race, and I would look up for that team. Yeah.
Yeah, good runs for the. You mentioned good runs for the 31, 13, and 20. Really, 13 had a very clean race. Good finish for them. And you get to the rest of the top 10. Those were the cars that were kind of all fighting around at the end. That's where the incident came from. That's where everyone was kind of fighting it from at the end. And yeah, we really whittled down the number of cars. I think at the end there was only about 5 competitive cars. In the end, everyone was either damaged, taken out, or were bottled up by that last lap incident. So yeah, a bit of a mess at the end. But I guess that's what happens when everyone's just racing for bragging rights.
Yeah, that was really something. They really just didn't hold anything back.
Yeah, they just let the taps loose, and well, that's kind of. I think we started seeing what happens when you let the taps, when you let everyone run loose, basically. We'll see. They did get I think the drivers got a bit of a handle on on this kind of racing more. I think as the race went on, they were a little bit. I think they definitely looked more comfortable in this kind of like the ending of this race, as opposed to say the beginning and like the middle, in the open. So we'll see what this means when we head over to Pensacola for our next plate race. But if we look at the calendar coming up, we still have our next road course coming up. Daytona road course, that'll be a fun one. That'll be a fun one. The Daytona road course is typically very fun with these stock cars, and I've seen what AWSCO has done with this track, and it has quite a bit of potential. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
And coming up next week for the Continental cars, we'll be heading over to Five Flags for the Phoenix Construction Summer Derby, kind of an inverted version of the Snowball Derby that they run over at that track in the beginning of the year. So that'll be an event to look forward to as well. Lots of short track action coming with the Continental Series, and well, lots of big track action coming up in the Cup Series. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think that'll be an interesting dynamic between the two. I think that'll be fun to watch. Short tracks are always really fun to watch with the Continental, and we haven't gotten that much plate racing and bigger tracks with the Cup yet, but I think this is a good preview of what we're going to see, and I think it's also a good test run for some of these drivers, too, to get used to these kind of tracks.
Yeah, I think so. Well, with that, we'll take things over to the booth for Neko will wrap up the broadcast for us.
And a great show here from the iRacing Super Speedway in Concord, Massachusetts. Such a great facility. And Arena Tosima took it away. We got a Daytona Road Course coming up next week. We got our World Tour coming up next week at Rio, Lausitzring, and Motegi. And then the brand new Echo Energy International Speedway in Surrey, British Columbia. And then it'll be, for the final 5 races of the season, the in-season tournament in the Cup Series. Meanwhile, next week's race in the Continental Series is the Dash for Cash qualifier. And they'll be going for their own little cash prize. So we hope that you all will enjoy this next little bit as much as I will. Alright, on behalf of Ellie, Russia, and Eddie, I'm Echo. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for the All-Star race. I will see you all in the next race.